Ladies and gentlemen.
I haven't really heard what Jeremy says because I got my 2 Stanley Cup rings right in my ear.
Introduce.
This is a guy that's going to be traded, though.
You're an announcer with a long stick from time to time.
You think it's my fault? Is that what you're saying? This guy's such an idiot here.
The Puck Luck Fantasy Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Puck Luck Fantasy Podcast. I'm your host, Dylan Sudemans, and right over there is your other host, Derek Sudemans. We're real excited to break down the first 3 games of the playoffs. Me and Derek are huge hockey fans, and we thought since we are professionals now that we would be do our best to not show our bias and what team we're cheering for. You will only know if we shave our beards when our team gets knocked out. Now, we made some updates to the website that you want to talk about first, Derek?
Yeah, we got some really pretty cool updates that I put in this week. We now have the ability to adjust for both team-based defense as well as a line-based defensive metric. So not only does it break down the defensive score of a team by the whole team, but it looks at those matchup statistics. So what you have to do, though, is this requires some manual inputs. So what I did was I went on shiftchart.com. They have a great website, and they lay out everything really nicely. And so I just researched there to get my inputs for how much percentage each player is going to play against each other. And then from there, I can just put it through the system. So now we have a nice little update that sort of really improves our defensive scores overall. So I'm really excited to start using that and see what happens here. So yeah, that's what I've been working on.
Okay, and without further ado, let's get to our first game of the night between the Minnesota Wild and the Winnipeg Jets. We have Devan Dubnyk confirmed, and he is our last ranked goalie of the night. We don't like him tonight. And we have Connor Hellebuyck, who's in our tier 2 of goalies tonight. We like Connor Hellebuyck a bit, so if you're going to play some Winnipeg Jets stacks, it'd be a good idea to pair him up.
Yeah, Hellebuyck is even cash playable for sure. I know I might actually end up using him just because I know we have Murray ranked first overall, I think, but that means that you can't really, or no, not Murray, sorry, Fleury, but that...
Yes, Murray.
Oh, no, Murray, sorry. So you could play Murray, that means you can't play any of the Flyers, and I kind of like some of the Flyers, but for tournaments, yeah, for sure. You can go Hellebuyck, but I like him in cash as well. In terms of stacks, though, there's a few lines you can play from this game. The Zucker, Niederreiter, Stahl from Minnesota, they're up there. They are the best option if you're going to be coming from the Minnesota side of things. And then from the Jets side of things, I like their first line as well. They just they're on the bubble, but I do like them if you need one. They're really one of the only, there's only a few that are really expensive tonight. Vegas 1 is right up there, but then they're the second real one that I would be going to if I need a real expensive stack. So that's kind of what I see the main plays from this game. And then there's a couple defense that are really stand out as well.
Bufflin on the Winnipeg side and Dumba on the Minnesota side.
And I believe Spurgeon might be back as well today. I saw some injury news around him. We'll have to keep an eye on that. It says he's on their second power play right now. So he could be. Do we have him coming up? Yeah, we have him actually pretty high on our rank. Or no, he's in the middle there. So because it's power play 2 times. So I think he was getting. Yeah, I don't know. So he's an okay play, but our model really likes Bufflin mainly from this game in terms of defensemen. It also kind of likes Myers and Trouba, though, since it's going to be the playoffs now. I think Myers' playoff time or power play projection time will be, most of that will go to that first unit. So he could be a slight bit overrated there. But yeah, those are the main plays from this game overall.
Okay, so let's move on to the Flyers and the Penguins. We got Brian Elliott projected. We have him in our tier 3 of goalies. We have 4 tiers tonight. And then, of course, you said Murray, who is our favorite pick of the night, and he's confirmed in net for the Penguins. So we'll be playing a lot of Murray.
Yeah, if you can. I struggled to really get him into my lineups when I was doing a few this morning, but if you can get him in there, definitely try for a few. This will be quite a game. You got the rivals between the Flyers and the Penguins going at it. And then you got the other side of things. You got Brian Elliott, who's really cheap. That's a bit more of a risky play, but you could do it. Only if you need to. The reason why I say you can do it is because there are a bunch of Philly players that our model likes tonight. Particularly their top line, all of their lines really, they're all right up there. They're kind of clustered together. But it likes the Giroux, Couturier, Raffle line the best. So if you wanted to go Brian Elliott plus that line and then go the rest from there, that's definitely one way you could go. And then on the Penguins side of things, there's also a couple lines you can grab. It's kind of interesting. I was looking at the Crosby line, what happened to them before and after the matchup upgrade went through, and Crosby was around like third or fourth or so, and now I think he dropped down to right into the middle of the pack. So which makes sense because he's going to be facing off right against the Giroux line, with the Couturier line, sorry, I should say. And Couturier has been a really solid defensive force the entire season, so that makes sense. So it's nice to see that little adjustment being made in there. But he still is just now he's more of a bubble play. But you could play the Crosby line, but you can also play the Malkin line. I see they're right up there, and even the Kessel, I guess I'm going to call it that line. They're in the bubble as well. So any of them are kind of right there.
All right, and I'll just mention real quick that Nolan Patrick, he's up there for one of the best one-off plays of the night. He's got a really high value tonight.
Yeah, you can use him in cash for sure. That's a good place to use him if you can't fit him into any of your tournaments there. I was just going to also mention some defense here from this game. The main one would be Letang there. You can also try to sneak in Mata, potentially. That's a little bit more contrarian, but I like Letang. And then Gostisbehere is pretty valuable tonight as well. And those are the main ones.
Yeah, right on. I guess we can move on to the last game of the night, which is between the Kings and the Knights. So we got Jonathan Quick projected, and he's along with Hellebuck in our tier 2 of goalies. We like him and Hellebuck second best, just behind Murray. And then we got Fleury, who's we have him in our tier 3 along with Elliott. So Kings, Quick's a good pick, and Fleury's an okay pick if you want to stack him with a line, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of the times it's just the goalies that fit with the rest of your lineup at the end of the day. So you can try to get a proper distribution, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. So if you can get Vegas 1, I really like them tonight, especially even Marchessault and Smith. They're both really good prices. So you get... Yeah, you got the Knights who are going up against the Kings, and I think they have a couple players that are potentially injured throughout their lineup. I saw Muzzin was out, but I do think Doughty is back. He was potentially injured, but he's back. Yeah, so so you can definitely so there's maybe a little bit weaker defense than normal, but the model really likes Vegas even without any adjustments or anything like that. So. Definitely going to be getting a lot of Vegas 1, as well as Vegas 2 is right up there too. Vegas 2 is 4th overall in terms of value play. So either one of them work. If you're going to go Vegas 2, I think they have Schmidt now. You got to watch. So they used to have Colin Miller on the second power play for the Golden Knights, but I think now they switched that up. So they got Theodore on the first one, and yeah, they do have Schmidt on the second one. So if you're going to go with the Vegas 2, take Schmidt. Then we have, so that's pretty much it, I think, for stacks on the Golden Knights side of things. But on the King side of things, all about Anze Kopitar, Dustin Brown, and Alex Alafalo tonight, assuming he is playing. I think he is. But
it looks like he'll be in, but he's not confirmed yet, I would say.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, I haven't seen anywhere that he's confirmed to play. It's just been speculation. So, but I'm gonna assuming that line is together. That's my top line of the night. We got them going up against Las Vegas, and I was looking at the numbers defensively for Las Vegas, and they're around average at home. They were doing a lot better earlier in the year, but I'm only using the last February and March data for teams now for defensive statistics, and so that's where they've dropped down to sort of middle of the pack. So you can kind of hopefully take a little bit of advantage of that, because I think the King side of things, all those lines will be very low owned. People seem to be finally gotten around, and now they're on the Knights side, I think, for the most part. So I like both. I like the top line for sure. I also really like the Carter Reeder to Foley line. They're ranked 3rd overall from our model for value. So take them. You can put Doughty with either of those lines because they mix well. So to get that power play exposure. And yeah, as we were saying, you can take Quick as well. So that really fills out. So there's lots that you can do on the from both sides of this game. So I think they'll potentially be. It's hard to say because both of these sort of teams, the Kings like to play a really defensive style, but I could see there being quite a few goals come out of this game.
Yeah, this seems like the game will be attacking the most. There's just a lot of value in this one.
Yeah.
So is that it for this game?
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah. Oh, defenseman, I just got to mention real quick. Colin Miller is still very valuable, even though he isn't getting that power play time anymore. He still shows up near the top of our model, so he's on the Knight side of things, as well as you can use, as I said, Schmidt, and then Doughty on the Kings.
Yep, right on. So let's move on to our puck luck picks of the day, where you give some stacks and some value picks.
All right, yeah. So let's start with the expensive pick of the day. So I'm gonna go with Marchessault, Jonathan Marchessault.
6,800.
Yeah, 6,800.
DraftKings.
Yep. In terms of a medium pick or moderate, we'll go with Dustin Byfuglien, 5,400. Then in terms of a sort of like lower range, I like Nolan Patrick at what's he at there? He's at 4,500. Yeah. And then as a really cheaper play, I like Colin Miller at 3,700. In terms of, I have 2 top stacks that I really like tonight. I like the line 1 from the Kings, which is Kopitar, Brown, and Iafallo. And I really like Vegas 1, which is Marchessault, Carlson, and Smith. And then I have 1 mini stack that I really like tonight, which is Patrick and Gostisbehere.
Right on. Okay. So that wraps things up for the night. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter. And you should be able to follow us on your favorite podcasting platform. But anyways, thank you for watching, and we will see you tomorrow.